All right, NFL therapy part 3, the Ravens update for the week. Bengals win 41 to 17. Words I never thought I would say. Sergi, can we start taking the Bengals seriously now?
I know last week I said that we weren't supposed to take the Bengals seriously. I may have been wrong. I will admit when I have been wrong. It was a rough game. I mean, starting on the offense, Lamar Jackson was pressured 32 times. You can't give up that many pressures. Alejandro Villanueva gave up 8 of them, and it's just awful to see. I mean, I don't know if we've talked about it all on this podcast really, but I mean the Ronnie Stanley injury, we are really feeling it right now. We were hoping he was going to come back this year, but that ankle flared up again. He's placed on IR. We're hoping that he gets a healthy season next year, but we are really feeling the injuries on our offensive line. Patrick Marakai got injured. Bakari, I apologize if I mispronounced his name. He got injured. Our starting right tackle, who was actually our backup center, he got injured. We have to have Tyree Phillips come in. It's bad. Lamar is running for his life. He's not getting time to throw. I mean, the Bengals sacked him 5 times. Granted, I mean, it makes sense when you we talked about this a little bit last week, but follow the money. What did the Bengals do this offseason? They invested in their
Mm-hmm.
defense. They put the money where they needed it. They got Trey Hendrickson from the Saints. They got Larry Ogunjobi. I mean, Chidobe Awuzie, Mike Hilton, even Eli Apple. I mean, they none of these guys are star players. They're not superstars, but what they are, they're solid guys. And to quote Bill Belichick, they can do their jobs. And when you have a bunch of guys who are solid, who can do their jobs on defense, all of a sudden your defense can shut everything down because
Mm-hmm.
there's people doing the right stuff on every side of the football. I mean, the Ravens offense was pretty stagnant. I think we're really seeing the absence of a running game right now. It's we thought that we can run the football on everyone. We thought that we had players that
Mm-hmm.
in an offensive line where we could run the football on any team, and it's not the case right now. Lamar has to carry the running game, and it's not a spot you want to be in. Then on the flip side, our defense just got burned. I mean,
Yeah.
we are one of the most blitz heavy defenses in the NFL the last couple of years, and the reason that we could do that is because we had a quarterback tandem back there. Sorry, cornerback tandem back there that people couldn't beat, which was Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters. There were very few teams that
Mm-hmm.
could overcome those two corners. With Marlowe gone, I mean, we can't keep pretending that Anthony Averett or Jimmy Smith is going to be able to replace Marcus Peters. It's not going to happen. Anthony Averett had a decent game, but we just kept blitzing Joe Burrow. We kept trying to get after the quarterback, and Joe Burrow has been one of the
Mm-hmm.
best quarterbacks in the league against the blitz. Wink Martindale said, "No, I don't believe that. Come on." And Joe Burrow said, "Yeah, I'm going to throw the ball 10 times for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns against the blitz." That's
Yeah.
that's 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 where we lost. I mean, our offense did everything they could, but when you give up 244 yards against the blitz, when you just keep giving up big plays, there's not much that you can do. And when you're getting pressure like that, you can't sit around in the pocket and play comeback football because you don't have any time to throw. It was just a
Yeah.
recipe for disaster.
I think my biggest disappointment was that I didn't even feel like the defense played that poorly most of the time. I actually was proud of our defense most of it, but what I saw five big plays, and it just felt like the wheels came off. A
Mm-hmm.
55-yard touchdown and a 32-yard touchdown to Uzoma, an 82-yard touchdown to Chase, a 21-yard touchdown to Mixon, and a 41-yard rushing touchdown from P. Ryan. So you look at this, we have five plays that are accounting for 231 yards and five touchdowns. What I'm seeing here is I'm not seeing a team. We didn't necessarily like not do well. It's just we had these five plays that threw our entire game, and it was incredibly frustrating. And a lot of that does come from you utilize a lot of your resources on the blitz. You don't really have that kind of back end like
Mm-hmm.
second chance that you might need against some of these more talented receivers. I think there was some issues with scheme, some issues with decision making from the coaches. On the positive side of things, though, Anthony Averett was heavily targeted again. This has become a theme. We're seeing this for the past 3 weeks, ever since the Colts kind of exposed us there. They're coming for Averett every single play except today. Well, not today, yesterday now, but Averett stood up. He shut down a significant number of the passes. Many of the receptions were immediate tackles. I was actually incredibly impressed with the way that Averett played. Surprisingly, the rest of the defense is what failed. Marlon Humphrey got burned a couple times. He got burned once by the tight end and once by Chase, although he was kind of tackled by his own guy. So when I look at that game, I'm actually not worried personally because I saw the defense give an okay effort and just botch too many plays undisciplined. It's really the difference between making a tackle and having that tackle broken. We're talking the difference between a 10-yard catch and an 82-yard touchdown. So a lot of just not focused, not in the right mindset. I really do believe they can clean that up because when you're talking 5 plays, you're talking clean up a couple things. Things are going to turn around. The Ravens are still 5-2 heading into a bye week. We saw them shut down the Chargers. So don't tell me they're not capable of shutting down some high-powered offenses. I am still fully confident in this team. I'm not worried. I think it's a bad game. I think they're going to shake it off. Expect them to come back in 2 weeks, ready to go at it again. I'm not concerned, but where are you standing with that, Sergi?
I'm on the flip side. I'm pretty concerned. I mean, yeah, Anthony Averett had a decent game, but when I'm saying Anthony Averett and Jimmy Smith and Tavon Young can't replace Marcus Peters, I'm not necessarily talking about coverage. I mean, Marcus Peters has never been the most phenomenal cover corner. He covers pretty well, but where Marcus Peters shines is he picks the ball up. He gets interceptions. He gets turnovers. And our defense has thrived on that for the last couple of years. With Marlowe giving up 240 yards, yeah, that's a bad play, but guess what? We got to play the Bengals again, so hopefully we'll do better. But it's the secondary concerns for me. We can't necessarily run the scheme that we want to run against a lot of players. And then we don't have a cakewalk of a schedule. We don't. We're playing the Bengals. We still have to play the Steelers twice, and it doesn't matter how good either team are with Ravens and Steelers. It's gonna be played down to the wire.
It's still gonna be a 1-1 split.
Yeah, we still have to play the Browns twice. We have to play the Bengals again. We're also playing the Vikings, the Packers, the Rams. And the thing is, a lot of these teams, we saw what the Bengals defensive line did to us. Steelers have a great defensive line. The Browns have a great defensive line. Vikings have a pretty decent defensive line. The Rams have Aaron Donald. Like the offensive line gives me a lot of concern. I don't think that, the wheels are falling off yet. I don't think that, I'm saying that we're going to have any kind of losing season or finish, 9-8 or whatever the heck the records are going to be now with with 17 games played. But I'm concerned going forward. We're not healthy and it's starting to show. The teams are starting to exploit the holes where our starters should be. And that is always really hard to fill because at the end of the day, backups are backups for a reason. So yeah. I'm hoping we can turn it around. I'm hoping that we can maybe get a little more healthy. I'm hoping that maybe we can scheme a little bit better, but the injuries have me really concerned going down the stretch.
Yeah. The good news is we do have a bye week to clear our heads and hope they get their acts together. Mm-hmm. And up next, we'll be hitting you with an unprecedented NFL therapy 4th session in the same podcast.